You little shit.
Man.
Yeah. Alright, so, episode 2. What's going on, guys? I'm Brian.
I'm Jennifer.
I'm Mike.
And we are on episode 2 of Loki. We are talking about how he starts his career in the TMA.
Mm-hmm. And it's weird seeing him in like regular people clothes.
Right.
He's not in his getup.
He's reading an ATV magazine from like 1990.
I mean, my man looks good in a suit. Tom Hiddleston looks good in a suit. He does.
Oh,
You know who looks better in a suit? Chris Evans.
And Sebastian Stan.
There's something wrong with it. So, he's learning about the TVA and what they have to do from Miss Minute, who originally was just a cartoon that you saw on the TV. She's actually a real thing.
Yeah, she popped up on his desk,
Yeah.
and he was like trying to smack her, like, "Are you real?"
Newspaper.
And she said, and he goes, "Are you just recording or are you real?" And she goes, "I don't know, a little bit of both." And you start learning more about the TVA and the timekeepers and stuff like that, which we didn't mention in the first video. The timekeepers are the ones who, in the very beginning of the universe, all the times were basically a jumbled, chaotic mess, and they're the ones that basically fused them all together into one time stream, which is what we're seeing now.
And they're still unraveling it.
Yeah. At this point, they're still unraveling it. You see the statues of the timekeepers, and you see a bunch of different things. The main woman that runs the TVA, or at least that portion of the TVA, her actual comic book character is the wife of Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's supposed to be who's the big bad and coming up in Phase 4.
Kang the Conqueror.
He's going to be the new Thanos, basically.
Okay, yeah, I don't know much about him.
Thanos, but he time travels.
Yes, he's a time traveler.
Well, because people are predicting online that there's a chance that he might, like, come into Loki.
There might be a chance.
Something.
Here's the thing. His basically his face is everywhere. He's one. They're saying that they're making it look like he's one of the timekeepers. Usually the one in the middle.
Oh yeah, that's right. The statues.
Yeah. But they're learning about the timekeepers. They go back to 1980 something, but it's a Renaissance fair, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because there's a timekeeper force that goes and they get basically destroyed by this variant Loki. And this.
And they don't show yet. We don't know yet who it is currently.
This Loki's brutal. They're actually far more brutal than what this Loki is. Loki's trying to figure out where he's going to go, where they're going to go next, and Loki figures out through actually pretty funny lines that they want to go to apocalypses, and they explain how nothing you do before that matters, because once that world is gone, it's gone.
And that's what's attracting the variant to go there, correct? Yeah.
Because you can go during an apocalypse and do whatever you want, and then the apocalypse happens and just deletes everything.
Yeah, and Loki's the one who figured that out.
And he does it in a funny way because he steals Owen Wilson's salad and starts dumping a bunch of crap into it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it's like a metaphor. It's like just salt and pepper, and then puts water in there. Takes the guy's, it's like probably like coconut water or something. Starts dumping in there.
It's a small salad.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, I forgot to mention in the last video that the TVA is probably the most powerful beings in the universe because they have literally a desk full of Infinity Stones.
Oh yeah, paperweights.
And there's so many of them.
And Loki goes for the Tesseract, and he touches it. It doesn't even glow anymore.
It's just
like
a blue.
Did you notice that? It doesn't glow.
I thought it was glowing, but it just wouldn't do anything.
Well, it doesn't like shine anymore.
Okay,
it still
like
glows.
It still glows, but
bit.
it doesn't radiate the light up.
Yeah, because in the TVA it doesn't matter.
It's like he's holding a glow stick.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, yeah, because all of the Infinity Stones just like a bunch of like cheap costume jewelry just thrown in the drawer, and the guy's like, whatever, we have a bunch of these.
Yeah, somebody using the
doesn't work
paperweights
here.
And so the TVA is extremely powerful, and Loki's actually trying to figure out like when did the TVA start, when were they made, how powerful is the TVA and stuff like that.
Because he kind of like not craps on it a little bit, but he basically is telling Owen Wilson's character oh, well, that's just a bunch of garbage that you're saying the timekeepers, like, created everyone, blah, blah, this. Then Owen Wilson's character's like, well, what about you with all your magic stuff in your background? And Loki's like, well, that's a different story. And you're going back and forth when in reality it's almost kind of like the same type of concept.
Yeah.
So.
And as this is happening, Loki starts figuring out, okay, they like to go to apocalypses. And so what Loki does, and he gets Owen Wilson to join in with him, is they go to literally 5 minutes before Pompeii, and the volcano explodes. And Loki's just going crazy. He's causing chaos. He's letting all the sheep and shit out. And
Go!
Standing on the cart as like the volcano's erupting.
Oh yeah, and he's standing there as the volcano's erupting, and there's people that are just watching him like this, and all of a sudden the volcano erupts, and they leave, and they go back to the TVA, and they notice that nothing's changed.
Yeah.
So they figure out where they're going to go next, and it's actually like 40 something.
2040, 2050, yeah, somewhere
Yeah, it's like 2040, 2050 in like Oklahoma.
Was it Oklahoma?
No, it's Alabama. I'm sorry.
Alabama, is he gone?
Is it Alabama?
I believe it's Alabama
I think it's
because
Alabama.
it's right next to the ocean.
Ah, yes.
And it's not even like an apocalypse to an entire world. It's just an apocalypse to those people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's what they're figuring out. And it's in like this like almost Walmart-esque, but it's actually like Roxxon, who's another
Oh yeah, I remember
Roxanne
that part.
Valdez?
who's another big corporate company that is actually more in the Spider-Man 2029 universe. They're the big conglomerate, and they make that's another reference because with the rumors that I've seen, and I saw a leak for the Spider-Man Far From Home or No Way Home.
Uh-oh.
There's so spoiler alert, if I'm right, I'm right. I'm sorry to say this, but spoiler alert, there's a glitch in the opening title screen, like how Into the Spider-Verse had. There's a glitch in the universe. So we could be seeing more Spider-Man 2099, but we're talking about Loki. Loki and the TVA get a task force, and they go to this superstore to try to find this one Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's going weird. This new Loki is enchanting a bunch of people.
Yeah, jumps. They make when they go to that store, the head woman wants Loki to be with her.
Yeah.
Not with, what's his name?
Owen Wilson.
Yes.
Morbius.
And so when Loki is with that woman, she starts acting all funny, and then they find out that she has been enchanted, and from there, it's this creepy thing where the spirit, or whatever you would say, of this variant Loki is going between all these bodies, and then they kind of pass out. And it's that green light that also you'll see like a hand or something touch someone, and then it'll be that green thing, kind of like Loki, what he does. And then it'll just be transferring from person to person until we finally see who?
Yes. So it goes to like the store clerk whose name is like Randy or something like that, and then it goes to this like big trucker dude who just beats the ever loving hell out of Loki, like legitimately just destroys him.
Wake up!
And what this other variant Loki has been doing is that she's been getting these grenades that erases the time variance. The reset grenades, basically. And she's been they've been collecting this. Loki's been.
Wait, I thought that had to deal with the timeline.
I'm getting that.
No, but I thought those little jars that glow had to deal with either keeping the timeline going.
They reset the timeline back to
what it was
before they got there.
So that person was trying to undo it?
Yes.
I didn't mean to say she. So the variant is trying to take away, like.
No. So what the TVA does with these grenades is that when they plant them, it takes away it takes everything that happened and just erases it. So that way, when it goes back down that line that you see usually on that big line,
that old weird TV.
Yeah, it goes back to just being one line instead of a branch. Okay. Okay, we said she a bunch. It's a female Loki.
Oh no, we're serious.
And We call her Loki, and what she does is she has a bunch of these bombs, and she sends them all over the place, everywhere, across the entire timeline.
And so it's erasing stuff?
So here's the timeline.
Yes.
And then it branches off here.
Yeah,
right?
I understand that. I just didn't understand what those jars were doing.
They erase the branch, so it goes back to normal.
Correct, but other stuff happens when all those go off and disappear.
Right.
Well, no, what that's doing is that she's sending them to different points in time where they're not even supposed to be there. So it's erasing different things. It's making basically what it's doing is that it's hitting different places, which they haven't really explained yet because the third episode doesn't really go into that. She's basically causing chaos across the entire timeline because they're going to places she sent these bombs that are basically bombing the timeline that is happening right now and creating multiverses, and they're branching off into different things of different time variants. An easy way to put it for this is when Steve Rogers, Captain America, when they get the Infinity Stone from 2012 and all the different things, he had to go back and replace them.
Correct.
The thing is that when this Loki does that, nobody can replace it because they don't know where it was sent, and they can't really understand why this is happening at that point.
Okay, see, I understood it when that happened in that episode, that when she did all of that, she was creating chaos to open up and make it so that there's all these shooting off timelines.
Yes.
So I am technically correct?
Yes.
Okay. So your explanation seemed a little bit different, so that's why I got a little bit confused.
Basically what's happening is that she's bombing the timelines.
Was she basically opening up pathways so chaos could happen?
Yes.
She's hitting the timeline to make multiple different parts of the timeline happen.
Yes.
Yes. So basically, like an example, let's just say Mike's going to work.
Yeah.
I'm going to work.
Mike's going to work, and the place that he works gets hit by this timeline and gets erased. He can't go to work, but the timeline before that, he can go to work.
So it takes back to the timeline before that.
So it's just going in different directions and making chaos, like how the timekeepers are supposed to keep it from not being chaos. And then you figure out that this is a female Loki, and it's based off of what you see in the comic books, because there is a female Loki who the spirit of Loki possesses her, and she becomes Loki. People thought it was going to be the Enchantress, which we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, a lot of people I did see online, they were getting it mixed up if it was going to be the Enchantress or that other...
The female Loki.
Female Loki, yes. So it's not the Enchantress.
It's not the Enchantress.
Okay.
And she goes into this portal, which ends up taking her somewhere else.
And Loki follows.
Loki follows without...
Just right there.
And no one wasn't trying to chase him down so that he doesn't leave.
Ah, crap.
And that's the end of the episode.
Totally.
Again, as the series is getting more and more chaotic and actually more fun, because again, I love Tom Hiddleston as an actor.
I did like a lot of parts of
Also,
the second one.
Did you notice She-Loki, Lady Loki, whatever we're calling her? She's got a horn broken.
Yeah, she got a horn missing. It's getting more and more chaotic because Loki is literally just the god of chaos. He's the god of mischief and stuff like that. And it's basically being spat back in his face.
Oh, that mischievous scamp.
Yeah. And it's getting more interesting. It gets a lot more interesting in episode 3. And it's a lot more... Again, for me, I love Falcon and Winter Soldier, like I said last week. And I love...
How can you not?
I know, right?
But for me, for some reason, this just keeps my interest more, and it's more interesting because I like the time travel aspects.
Because it's a time heist, Brian.
Well, kind of.
Are you basing this off of Back to the Future?
No.
No.
Hot Tub Time Machine. And it's for me at least, it's getting to the point where now, especially since we're 3 episodes in and we're filming this late, it's getting more and more chaotic, especially after episode 3, because I really have no idea where this is going to go. With Captain America, or with Falcon Winter Soldier, I could kind of see where it was going to go.
WandaVision, you didn't know where it was going.
WandaVision was crazy. I loved how WandaVision was. Mostly I liked WandaVision because of how it basically was a tribute to TV. And I also just enjoyed Paul Bettany. I think Paul Bettany is funny as hell. But again, I have to give this episode a 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed this episode.
I'm still trying to figure out where I stand with this. Like, I like it, but like I can't give it really like a 10 because I'm not like at the edge of my seat the whole time like I was with other previous ones. So if anything, I would say more of like a 7 or 8.
That's fine.
If I had to guess where this is going to go, and I think it's going to go in a really, really fun way, I would have to guess that this is going to end up going to tie in with the multiverse of madness, Doctor Strange, and I really, really think that this is going to tie in with the new Spider-Man movie.
Well, Kevin Feige already stated, and it's already out there, that what happens in Loki is going to be the most important or affect a lot of stuff compared to what happened in WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier. So like Loki is super important. That's the other reason why I did force myself, but I kind of like needed to watch it because of that.
I think it's going to lead into Quantumania.
It probably is.
Because if you watch Ant-Man and the Wasp, and the scene where they show Janet Van Dyne, right?
Yeah.
And she's in the quantum realm.
Yeah.
If you look behind her,
there's Kang.
You can see the TVA.
Yeah, it's TVA, and it's also Kang's.
Right.
It's Kang's fortress.
So they're in the quantum realm.
I mean, he's gonna be in Quantumania.
Can't wait. I can't wait for
Who's
this.
gonna be?
Kang.
Okay. I thought you'd be like Loki's gonna be.
Also, I bet you that guy that they met in like the first episode, Casey.
Yeah.
That's Kang the Conqueror in disguise.
Might be.
The guy who had all the Infinity Stones in his drawer.
Yeah. The way that I see it, this is going to be Marvel's new plan, and I'm making a bold prediction here. He's going to be a new cameo in every movie.
Loki?
Mm-hmm. Instead of it being like Deadpool or Stan Lee or anything like that.
Oh yeah, there's going to be no more Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's going to be
Loki just popping in.
Loki. You're going to see him in the background or something like that. Tom Hiddleston's about to make a lot of money, if I'm correct.
A lot more than he's already got.
Oh yeah, Tom Hiddleston's probably going to be richer than Robert Downey Jr. by
He's
the
got
end
more
of
money
this.
ahead of him than behind.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, is it in this episode? Shit. Wait.
What?
So when they were showing the time, I have to say this. So when they're showing that TV where all the timeline's going wonky, they show names of places where the things are going wonky, and one of them is the place where Natasha died.
Oh yeah,
I want to say
Vormir.
Vormir, and then is Ego on there? Is Ego where
Ego is on there as well.
Oh, isn't that what you call
Star-Lord's dead.
The girl.
Yeah, Star-Lord's dad. They do show a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff that I'm wondering if all these people who died are really going to come back.
I think they showed Titan as well.
Oh no!
All this stuff.
There's a good chance they might bring back Thanos.
Daddy Thanos, we missed you.
But that's an Easter egg. Like I watched New Rocketeers, which go watch their videos. Watch ours first, but go watch their videos too.
New Rocketeers, you mean New Rockstars?
Rockstars, I thought
Eric
it was. Yeah. New Rockstars. They go through a whole like Easter egg thing, and they actually go through all the timelines.
Oh god.
And they bring out like all the cool stuff like Titan, Ego, Vormir. There's even one, I think it's one that's like 1950s New York.
Oh.
So.
We're in for some fun.
That's why I like this, because even though with WandaVision you really couldn't see where it was going, you kind of guess what it's going to do.
Right.
Except for I really couldn't tell who the villain's going to be. That was a nice surprise.
See, those moments are what really get me hooked and want me to keep watching. It's like those. Some stuff I'm like, but that's I'm like, oh my god.
With Loki, there's hundreds and hundreds of different timelines going, and I have no idea where this is going to go.
Right.
For all I know, Loki's actually going to be a bad guy and keep going with this. It's Loki. So.
With that being said,
like, comment, subscribe. We will see you next week, and make sure you don't become a variant. It's probably not a good thing.
Ooh.